Let's spot some of his red flags. So you said he goes and he comes. Is it because of his profession, or is it because emotionally he leaves and then he comes back in?
He said that he was emotionally shut down, something that happened in his family. This was after about 6 weeks of dating, and he
Okay.
apologized like a lot. And,
Okay.
and kind of said like we could try again, but then he kind of disappeared again.
Okay.
And then came back again and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was on a work trip."
Right. So let's rewind a bit. When you started and you got into this relationship with this guy, what is it that you liked about him?
Well, I thought he was very attractive, first of all, and just like a great personality, like funny, outgoing.
Okay. So those things are good for, let's say, the first couple of dates, right? Obviously, because like, especially at the start, we're physical beings, we want to see something that's nice, and so we want to like enjoy it and hold on to it. When is it that you first started noticing the emotional distance?
I would say like the last date we went on, like the 6th week, and we stayed at each other's places for the first time, and he just seemed like off.
Okay, so 6 weeks is when you finally actually noticed it. That's what I'm talking about, not when it actually showed up. I'm talking about when you noticed it, right? There's a difference.
Maybe it was sooner, like with the texting, like I felt like he was like a little bit distant, and I brought it up. I said, like I feel, because I was trying to be like more vocal with my feelings. I'm like, I feel as if you've been distant lately. Can you?
Now I'm going to take you deeper, okay?
Okay.
And with this step, so let's talk about, you said you noticed he was a little emotionally unavailable towards when you first started texting him. Or not first started, at some point when you were texting him. So let's say that's 2 weeks into it, okay? In that state, when it was around 2.5 weeks, and we're seeing from this person that they're not really able to respond to us with, maybe the attention we need. Maybe we need a little too much attention because of our own wounds, sure. But there's a midpoint, and this person's not even getting there. So in that space, would someone who really is full of that confidence and self-worth of like, I know what I deserve in a relationship, do you think they tolerate that behavior? Maybe once, okay, and then communicate about it. But do you think they tolerate it for an extended period of time?
No.
And I love you for saying that. And I thank you for being really vulnerable, because being vulnerable, especially like this, is not easy. But you're already giving yourself now the gift. I'll tell you why. Because from 2.5 weeks to 6 weeks, I'm sure if we were to pull it apart, we'd be able to see so many more of those little signs of what you, beautiful Jill, unconsciously tolerated, but you didn't deserve to tolerate.
Right.
So the question now becomes, why am I tolerating it? Not about this guy. This dude is just a fucking reflection of like, he's just a nobody. And to be honest, he's just a nobody, but he's reflecting back to you and to me something that's going on.
Yeah.
So now my next question is to ask you, how many siblings do you have?
One.
One. Are you the older one or the younger one?
I'm the younger one.
Yep. Okay. Growing up, when you were young, was your dad someone who was not very emotional?
He was emotionally unavailable. He still is.
Okay. And you hit the nail on the head where you said he still is.
Yeah.
Now, and there was the two of you, and you were the younger one, right?
Yes.
So what naturally happens, I'm the youngest of 5, by the way. So what naturally happens to the youngest ones or the younger ones is we tend to be more sensitive, because we're looking and watching like our elder siblings, like they've already got some love, they've already got parenting. We're new to this fucking thing, we're new to this world. So we want like some of that like love for ourselves. We want some of that cuddling. Do you think, when a parent has a child, it is tough? It's kind of tough and challenging and fatiguing?
Yeah.
If they have a second one, do you think that the energy levels would be a little lower than when they were at the first one?
Definitely.
Okay, so let's just take that piece, let's put it aside. And now we're getting more vulnerable, and I appreciate you, Jill, for being really vulnerable. You said so strongly, he still isn't emotionally available.
Yeah.
Which means he still doesn't really connect with you emotionally.
No.
Have you made the effort to want to connect emotionally with your dad?
I think like a little bit.
Okay, I can tell you for sure that you would have, because I can see already the kind of person you are. And I can tell that maybe earlier on in your life, you made more effort than now.
Yeah.
Because now you're probably fatigued and you're like, fuck this noise, nothing's going to change, right? In some way.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good. So let's hold on to that. What is it that you think you wanted from your dad the most?
Love.
Out of everything.
Love.
Okay. Let's break that down. Let's love for sure. But as a child, as a little girl, beautiful little girl with this wide smile, what do you think you'd want from daddy the most? You can make it so simple and playful and just like creative. And even if it's sad, you can make it what it is. It doesn't have to be complex and scientific.
I wanted him to like notice, like pay attention to me. He was not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? What else?
Just be like present.
When I'm asking these questions, I want to ask actually the audience. I don't think that I wanted them to respond by like saying yes or no. Okay. How many of you have noticed that when I keep asking Jill a question as what does it look like as a child, she's having a difficulty? How many of you have noticed that? Just say yes, I've noticed, or raise your hand. Because when I ask her, what does it look like? Her adult brain says emotional validation, you know, any of those things. But I have to really hold her hand and take her through to ask her about what does it look like for a little girl, for a little child? How many of you have seen that? Just say it. I'm not even going to say anything. Let's just read the comments. Yes, yes, yes. I don't see any no's so far. Let's just see if any no's pop up. They might be right. You know, I'm not in the business of being right. I'm in the business of healing. Yes, yes. Some said she knew. Yes, that was your friend who said she knew she would. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, why am I asking this question? I'm asking you this question because, Jill, inside of you is a trapped little girl who wants that love so much. And she doesn't want the complicated love. She doesn't want someone to go to the fucking Eiffel Tower and propose to her. She doesn't want someone to take her on a hot air balloon and do something. She wants someone to simply be able to spend time with her, be present with her. What does being present with someone look like? That means saying through your body and your emotions and through your space that you are valuable enough to me that I want to be here in this moment with you. Would you agree?
Yeah, like I had like a wow moment because I was just thinking about like a couple of people I dated and they didn't have time for me. So
yeah. And the problem is you are still that trapped little girl who with daddy knew she didn't have a choice. So she didn't have a choice to say, okay, well, fuck you, daddy. I'm about to go get myself another daddy. As a child, you don't get the choice, right? No. So you're just like, you know what? I'm stuck with daddy. Okay, what can I do to get daddy's love? I can try being really patient. I can try swallowing the fact that daddy is not capable of giving me love. I can try really running around daddy and doing things for him or trying to like, you know, show him my toys or be up in his face. I can try doing really well at school. What are the ways I can get daddy to notice me? So I want to ask you, what are the ways that you got your dad to notice you?
I have this memory where I used to put on like performances for him. Like performances, like I would try to like get his attention. That
represents you going out of your way to be creative and do something special for your dad so he could notice.
Yeah. Okay.
So in all of those past relationships that you're seeing the pattern, can you spot that at least once in each of those relationships, you went out of your way to do something really nice or really special or to be able to create a really nice feeling for them because you wanted them to really enjoy it and notice you?
Yeah, definitely.
Boom. And what you're showing me on the front is here's an asshole who's emotionally unavailable and he won't like give me the time of day. But what you're really showing me is I just want to be noticed, loved, and cared for. So then the question is, why the fuck is there this big gap? Why is there this big gap between I really just want, like, you haven't asked for complicated things in a relationship. You've asked for simple things. You want those simple things. I can tell you with utmost honesty, there's a gazillion men out there who are capable of it. So then the question becomes, well, why the fuck am I attracting someone who's not capable of it? How have I not shown myself that I'm not deserving of it? Because that inner child inside of you, she's still running after daddy. She's still running after wanting that connection.
Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.